Hi, how's it going? So today I'm going to be showing you how to farm sugarcane in Hypixel Skyblock with only one hand. Now it isn't a macro, it isn't any sort of mod. All it is keybinds. It's super easy to set up once you understand what's going on. So the couple things you're going to need. One, you're going to need rancher boots. There's a very specific range of speed you need to have, and it's just, your life's just going to be horrible if you try achieving it without rancher boots. Second, you're going to need a sugarcane farm. I know, it's crazy, right? You need a sugarcane farm to farm sugarcane. Who would have thought? But sarcasm aside, let's get in the video. So like I said, you need a sugarcane farm. This is actually not a sugarcane farm. This is a sugarcane farm. Ignore that mine has ice. I made some poor life decisions early on. Please help. The next thing you need is, once you build your sugarcane farm, you need to go ahead and get some sort of block, and you need to go by every 2 rows, as you can see here, and you need to place a block. Now, what this does is it essentially creates a really long track for you to follow. This is so that when you farm with one hand, you aren't actually turning your cursor, you're turning your mouse or whatever. So you need this to keep you from going into another row. It's also important to make sure that on the other side of the farm, you have a barrier here. So essentially the barriers alternate. Another thing you'll want to do is make sure at the end of your farms, I don't know why this cobblestone's here, but at the end of your farms, you gotta have a little spot for you to be able to fly to the next layer. Now let's talk about setting this up. The first thing you need, rancher boots, of course. You want to set your rancher boots to speed of about approximately 326. This is the speed I farm at. I've seen people farm as low as 320, and I've seen people farm as high as 330 something. I don't know how they do it. You're also going to want a Turing sugarcane hoe, preferably the highest rarity, just to maximize your XP and drop yield. And you're also going to want either a rabbit pet or an elf. Where's my elephant pet? An elephant pet. Finally, you need to set your keybinds. The first keybind you want to set is attack and destroy. You want to click on this and click spacebar. You can bind this to other keys, but I find spacebar is the best. It's the most consistent, and some of the other keys have compatibility issues. I tested most of them, and I find spacebar works the best. The next thing I like to do, you don't have to do this, but it's super convenient, is scroll down here to jump and bind this to your left mouse button. This is so you can fly between farms easier, and you don't have to constantly like AOT or something weird to the next row. Finally, you're ready to farm. Now, what you want to do is hit F3 and align yourself up against a wall. Now, what you want to do is, you see over here in the top left where my mouse is, you want to look at this number right here. Make sure that this number is either -45, -135, 45, or 135. I can be a bit in each direction from each number. As you can see here, I'm going to try to get this to 45 degrees. It does not have to be perfect, but the closer to perfect it is, the less of a chance you have of missing a sugarcane stalk, which takes down your efficiency. Also, it's important to note that moving your mouse up and down will not affect it. I personally like leaving my mouse to where it attacks that, it breaks that. That way it doesn't mess with the other layer. Now all you do is you hit spacebar, so you're constantly breaking blocks, and you just run across. This literally takes only 2 keyboard buttons, and the only effort you have to do is when you change rows. As you can see here, it's super convenient, and if you have another monitor or if you have a phone, you can watch YouTube, and yeah, that's one-hand farming. The last thing I want to mention is that the XP yield and the crop yield is roughly the same as if you were to farm normally. I have seen that it's a tad bit higher occasionally, but that's likely due to it being quicker to change between lanes. So don't expect to see a much higher yield of crop. The only reason you'd want to do this method is for convenience sake. If the video helped you out in any way, consider subscribing. I don't usually make this type of content, but I'm willing to do more of it if it helps some people out. Also, if you liked the video because I'm just such a cool, funny person that's just so good at Skyblock, you should watch some of my other content. Bye!